Today we are going to talk about JavaScript modules. We can say JavaScript modules, they help us make our code more readable. Uh, you know, we may have a large file as we continue writing our code, but we need our code to be readable and it should be clean and readable. So modules help us to make our code readable and clean. So we can say modules help to make our code readable and clean because we split the file, the main file into multiple files. Then we use import and export. Let me demonstrate. For example, let us create a file known as index.html file. We can create another file, we call it main.js. We can create another file, call it user.js. So in the index.html file, assume we call this JS modules. Then here in the body we can have set the script. Then you have to use type. The type is module. Always remember this. Always. Then the source, we link it to the main.js file. So always when using modules, remember to include the type, and the type is always a module. So in your user.js file, assume you had something like a class with a user. You had a class with a user, and then assume you had a constructor with name and age. When you say this dot name is equal to the name, okay, then this dot age is equals to age. That is my constructor. And then assume you had another function having a class, and then you have a function that prints, we call it print name, probably we call it you can call this function person name. That prints the username. You can call it print name, for the function print name. Then we give it a name of a user, probably in this we console log, and then we say the person is called, how do you call this, is called, assume the person is called now the name. Okay, the person is called, we give it a user dot name is called that. Then we have a second function, console.log, the person, the probably can say okay, user dot name age is okay, and then you can say I forgot to put this inside the function. I needed a second function. We can have probably this as my second function. Sorry for that. Okay, function, we have print age that prints the age of this user. Okay, and then we have this inside a function. So this we have, this is the user.js, and we need to split some of this function to be in the main.js. So when you are in the main.js file, you need to import from users, and for you to import you needed first to export. So this function I need to export them to the main.js file, and for me to export at the end, you can always do the export. You export, probably you export default. You want the first one to be the default. You say user, and probably export the smaller ones. You can say export print name. You want to export print age and print name. I want to export this, export this and export. So you can do this way, or to avoid this, the alternative to this is to have you put the export here. This is also fine, more cleaner and more specific. So we want the first one to be the default. Okay, default. Yeah, sorry. So you can do this. So when you are in the main.js file, then you can do now import. You can do the import. You can do the import user, and then you can import the, we call it print age, print name. You can do this from where? From users. So you can do import user print age from you can do that from, we say from user, from user.js file. So this is where you are importing. This is where you are importing it from. So once you have done that, then we can give attributes to our class, whereby you say constant call it, you can give it the name user is equals new user. Then maybe we can say the person is called Johnston. Probably you can give it the age of 11. See what it does. Okay, so let us console.log to see if it's working as expected. Okay, we can say console.log user. So let us see if it's working as expected. Okay. So let me open this. So here we have an error. You can see here we have an error. We need to solve this error. Okay. So it's giving us age 11, the name is Johnston. What we put here, age 11, the name is Johnson. Let me change this to 15 to see if it's working. It's working as expected. So have this this one is not necessarily have to be a user, it can be anything that you want. Probably you can have it can put it as username, bot username. Then if this is a username, and then this one must also be a username. So let us see if the code is working properly. Again, we get what we want. So having done that, what else should I have taught you? So this, let us print the specific what we put inside the functions. So probably I want to console .log. I want to console .log so I want to check what is inside this function. What I can do, sorry for this, you can say print age into brackets. Now you call the user. You call the user, yeah, Johnston is 15. That's what you get. Assume we want to see what is inside print name for the user. Okay, the person is called Johnson. That is it. That is about modules. Modules help to keep our code, to separate our JavaScript file by making our code clean. So we are able to split the several JavaScript file into, so that we can easily manipulate, you can easily edit and makes our code clean. Thank you.